artificial turf?
Well, both of them are factors to keep in mind. This is a Mckeesport team and an Upper St. Clair team that have different styles. One might lend itself better to the artificial turf. That one might be Upper St. Clair.
And it should be interesting, as I said, to see what happens. Earlier in the day, a couple of blowouts as Western Beaver wins their way in the single-A game. Also, New Brighton beating the run-and-shoot Jeanette Jayhawks. And the very close game today was Blackhawk going up against McGuffey. McGuffey pulling the upset. McGuffey
doing a nice job of pulling off the upset, winning by a score of 12-6. Blackhawk with a chance to tie late in the game. McGuffey comes up with a big interception. That, thus far, has been the game of the day. And as you said, two earlier blowouts. This one should be a low-scoring game, should be a conservative game, should be a good game.
And we will wait to see that here live on KBL. Taking a look at the clock now, we've got about 3 minutes to go until the opening kickoff of the game. So along with George Savarese, I'm John Duffy. Would like to thank our cameraman, Paul Valley, and our producer, Lisa Burns, for all of her help today. Our work here is done, so we're going to go home and watch this one on TV along with you.
WPIAL Championship Football is brought to you by Chevrolet. Your local Chevy Geo dealers are proud to sponsor WPIAL football on KBL. Sears Brand Central, the brands you want at the store you trust. By Waynesburg College, where opportunities begin. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the WPIAL. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the big night of the big game of the day at Three River Stadium. My name is Sean Daugherty, my partner Dan Donahoe, and Quad A game coming up here. Undefeated Mckeesport, 12-0. Kind of a change, Dan. Upper St. Clair comes in as an underdog, 10-2, and we're getting used to seeing them here every Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Pretty much true, Sean. Upper St. Clair's been here the last 6 out of 7 years, the last 4 years. Last year they played North Hills in the championship. North Hills came out with a victory. Upper St. Clair, as you said, it's the dominant program in Quad A. Mckeesport's kind of the new kid on the block, but they had a great year. They've been ranked #1 all year long. Now they have to finish it off.
The Panthers, of course, coached by head coach Jim Render with 206 wins at Upper St. Clair, having a great career as a coach. George Smith, another solid career coaching at Mckeesport High, and his team, he said they wouldn't have wanted to play anybody else because they're playing the tradition. This would be, if Mckeesport is able to pull this off, the first WPIAL Championship since 1938. Of course, St. Clair has won them 3 times since 88, 89, and 92. We had them here last year, and they lost in the final to North Hills. Great game that was, as you see them captains out at midfield for the toss of the coin. Brandon Short, number 60 right there, Dan. He's going to be a big factor in this football game, huh?
Well, we've seen Brandon Short earlier this year. I saw him against Central Catholic. He is everything you've heard about. Throw out all the ratings and everything else everyone knows about, that he signed a scholarship early to go to Penn State, and that's a good place for him because he's a dynamite linebacker.
Traditional linebacker, and he'll be there with the Penn State Nittany Lions and head coach Joe Paterno. The Mckeesport Tigers won the toss, but decided to defer until the second half. Upper St. Clair is going to take the football, I believe. Yep. And nope, it'll be Mckeesport getting the football. So we're 0 for 1 here this evening, Dan. But one thing we know we're not wrong about is this can be a great football game here at Three River Stadium.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Sean. Both of these teams got here through running the ball. As you can see, Mckeesport beat Greensburg-Salem 14-0 and Connellsville 14-7. Upper St. Clair, meanwhile, beat Shaler 21-14 and North Allegheny 13-10 in a whale of a ball game. Both teams rely a lot on their running game. Upper St. Clair with Cullen Hawkins leading their attack with over 1,000 yards. Mckeesport runs a wishbone. You'll see a lot of options tonight. Cromerdie is a great running back. He also is over 1,000 yards. One of the things you'll notice early in this game is that Mckeesport does not huddle up. So they'll run the option and they will not huddle, at least if they've been true to form as to what they've done earlier in this year.
We'll get to see him right away here too. Colin Hawkins putting the ball on the tee for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, and the junior kicker, you're going to see an awful lot of Colin Hawkins here this evening for Upper St. Clair, because he is not only their kicker, but he is an outside linebacker on the defense, and he is also, of course, the tailback for the Panthers, over 1,000 yards on the season for Colin Hawkins. And we're about ready to get it underway here and kick it off at Three River Stadium. Cromertie back to receive, or Cromertie, I should say, back to receive it for the Mckeesport Tigers. The kick is taken, though, by number 21, Glenn Allen. And you'll see a lot of Glenn Allen this afternoon or this evening, too, as well. Allen is the opposite halfback. The opposite halfback in the Mckeesport setup, with Cromertie getting a lot of the attention from his halfback spot. They'll set it up, and you look at the starting offense. Bill Isbir is the quarterback, and he can really run the football. Doesn't throw it an awful lot. Cromertie wears number 22, and he'll be the one halfback with Allen, the other halfback, 21. Keonte Campbell, number 33, is the fullback. Underway, and Isbir gives it immediately to Campbell on the first play from scrimmage, and Jason McGahan and Zach Furness up to make the play quickly for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Take a look there at the Panthers defense, and as we said, Hawkins and Wes Thornton, the outside linebackers, with Furness, Jason McGahan, and Jay Allman on the defensive line. And the other linebackers, Kern and Hyman, are inside. Hammonds, Mandler, Messina, and Pat Phillips, the defensive backs for Upper St. Clair. The second play of the game, here comes the option, the pitch to Cromertie. His first time he touches the ball this evening, he gets out across the 30 to 34-yard line before he's tripped up by David Kern.
Well, the quarterback for Mckeesport does a great job of running the option. I think something that Upper St. Clair is going to have to do, Sean, is to make the quarterback run with the ball. Don't give up to the option back, because Cromartie will break one sooner or later. So they're going to have to start making the quarterback run with the ball as opposed to the option back.
Number 10, Casey Holtzman, in at fullback right now for the Mckeesport Tigers. Allen and Cromertie, the two backs behind him. A little bit of a jump on the line of scrimmage, and Panthers a little anxious as Isbir went to the hard count and drew the offside. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mckeesport Tigers.
Picks up the first down. You can see the nose guard there. He moves right there. There's a snap. Third and short. That's a gift.
Jason McGahan a little too anxious. And Bill Isbir, the junior quarterback for the Tigers, drawing him off with the hard count. So it's 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 39-yard line. Isbir gives it to Casey Holtzman, and he's across the 40. Gain of about 3. Jay Allman at the bottom of that one, along with number 63, Zach Furness, for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Sean, Mckeesport likes to run the fullback up the middle. It's something you have to establish if you want to be able to run outside.
Isber's going to go wide on the option. He's got Allen trailing. Keeps it himself, gets it out to about the 45, picks up a couple on the play as it was hemmed in nicely. Colin Hawkins in on the play from the outside linebacker spot for the Panthers on the far side. You see Isbir there not passing the ball an awful lot this season, and he won't tonight as well. You can bet it's cold night, and it was kind of chilly early, but I think it's safe to call it a cold night here at Three River Stadium for this Quad A football game. Isbir with just 54 passes thrown in the season. He's going to take it across the 50, first down, and you can tell the quarterback can run the football.
Key to this play, Sean, is that the Upper St. Clair linebackers got caught in traffic. They got blocked there, which opened up the lane. Isbir did a nice job of breaking through the one tackle to pick up some yardage. David Kern dragged him down from behind to keep the play from breaking real loose. There's a give to Cromertie over the left side, and again, big yardage for the Tigers. Aaron Coe checking into the Panthers defense, number 66, along with number 33, Bob Bunn. Pat Phillips goes to the bench, along with number 62, Bill Hindman. So Coach Render going to some defensive substitutions here on 2nd and 5. Glenn Allen, big haul. He's off to the races. He could have walked in.
42 yards, and the Mckeesport Tigers have opened up a 6-0 lead here with 8:20 to play in the first quarter. A real impressive showing here, and a big one for the Tigers going to jump into this one with that big play early.
Well, Sean, here's a replay, and St. Clair has about 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and once he breaks through the line of scrimmage, there is no one else there. Yeah. And again, because they've been successful running outside and inside, you know, the safeties and corners are worried about the outside plays, and the middle is just wide open. They were probably cheating a little bit.
Ron Rutherford on to attempt the extra point. Isbir will hold it for him. And the kick is up. It's perfect. And the Mckeesport Tigers, looking for their first WPIAL championship since 1938, leave it 7-0 here at 3 River Stadium. You're watching the WPIAL Championships on KBL. This long touchdown run by Glenn Allen. You'll see the spaces Dan talked about. They just break it. They split the men on the line of scrimmage, and Allen is off and gone to the races, leading the Mckeesport Tigers to a 7-0 lead here early in the first quarter, Dan.
Brandon Short can do more than just play defense, because he buried the middle linebacker for Upper St. Clair. You saw big number 60. He cleared that lane.
There's Ron Rutherford. I don't know if he intended to do that, but he hit the front line of the Panthers defense. Number 44, Gino Albert, covers it over, and we'll see the Upper St. Clair offense on the first time this evening. And look at this, Dan. This is something they're used to. Look at that in the playoffs. They were behind Shale at 14-0, and then last week behind NA 10-0. This is a team that's real resilient.
It is, but it's not a habit you want to get into. And it wasn't necessarily just that Mckeesport scored, but they scored very easily. Yeah. Every play on that drive, they picked up positive yardage. I'm sure Coach Render's a little bit concerned about it right now.
Freshman quarterback Mac McCardle under center for the Panthers, and he gives it to his fullback Bunn. The sophomore stopped quickly in the backfield, a loss of about a half yard on the play. Going to look there at the rest of the Upper St. Clair, or some of the rest of it there. Jeff Mandler will be McCardle's #1 receiver, whereas number 22, he's a split end. And you'll see the backs there. Barrett Hammond's a flanker, also a real good pass catcher for Upper St. Clair. Hammonds comes in motion. 2nd and 10. And McCardle's going to throw his first pass of the evening, and he completes it right at the 50-yard line for a pickup of about 6 on the play. He's not a bad passer. Hasn't thrown an awful lot. He's completed 41 out of 86 this season. As we take a look there at the Mckeesport defense, and you'll see that's the defensive backs in the Lefkowitz, Steele, and Knight on the defensive line. Steele, not a heavy guy, a little tiny nose tackle, and of course the big guy there in the defense, Brandon Short. But the other inside linebacker, Roger Wilson, number 43, is a good one as well. 3rd and 4 here for the Panthers from the 50-yard line. McCardle back to throw it again, and he had Barrett Hammonds crossing the middle, and Short went for the interception there, Dan, but it went through Hammonds incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be going over the middle too much with Short there, but Hammonds was open. Even if he caught it, I'm not sure if they would have made the first down, Sean. The ball was thrown short of the pattern. Let's take a look at it. Just a straight drop. He was looking for Hammonds the whole way. A little bit high, could have been caught, but you see Short was coming over, and you couldn't see it on the screen, but he was short of the first down.
He was backed up too by number 55, Bob Eastman, as the first punt of the game by Leo Dest for Upper St. Clair is going to be down about the 12-yard line. So the Tigers will start off this series in kind of rough field position, and the Panther defense will try to dig in and pin them down there.
Panther defense has been pretty good all year, especially after about the first 3 or 4 games for Upper St. Clair. They have to make a defensive stop right here. I mean, we're sitting here with the crowd. You can really feel the momentum is on Mckeesport's side. The easy first drive, the 3 plays and out on defense. So St. Clair's defense has to step up right now.
See the Tigers huddled at the sideline, and they'll come right out on the field. Isbir will bring him to the line of scrimmage here. 1st and 10 at his own 16-yard line. And he's going to keep it and make a cut and have a big hole up the middle. Good read there by the quarterback, Isbir. He gets to the 30-yard line before David Mandler and Barrett Hammonds converge to stop another long touchdown run, Dan.
Well, it's the same defense St. Clair was in last time. It's basically a 6-3-2. And once you get past the line of scrimmage, there aren't a whole lot of defenders there. So if you don't make the stop near the line of scrimmage, St. Clair's gone back to their basic defense now, I see. But there's a lot of room to run.
The other thing you'll see, Isbir, great ball handler, and the Panther defense certainly went for the fake on that one. There's the give to the fullback, and Holtzman is out across the 35-yard line. Another big first down pickup, set up second and less than 5.
Our viewers may have seen a lot of articles in the past week about how Mckeesport hasn't been scoring and running the ball as well. They had 2 starters, Bill Gallagher and Dino Mallas, get hurt, both around the last regular season game. Obviously, that would have an effect, but it doesn't appear to be affecting their offense so far tonight.
No, it sure doesn't. Not so far. Got a little variation here in the wishbone with Cromerty on the wing on the far side. Here comes the option with Allen the trailer and Aaron Coe, and Hawkins up to make the play quickly on Isbir. Picked up a yard or 2. It's going to set up about third down and about 2.5 yards on the play here.
This is the stop they have to make right here. There you see Jim Render with 210 career wins. They've won 47 section games in a row, just to give you an indication of their
dominance. Huh? Yeah. How about? Well, this will be our 4th year here, and we've seen him here every year. There's the give to the fullback. That's Glenn Allen on the carry, and he is real close to first down yardage.
I think he got it on the spin, Sean. Initially, St. Clair did a pretty good job of stopping him, but I think he spun right as he was falling down, and that picked up the first yard. Let's take a...
It is a first down, as you say, Dan.
Watch the spin here. This is what really got him the first down. There it is. Great running.
Wes Thornton up to try to hold him off, but Allen just spun his way in there. Wishbone set with 2 wideouts now. The Tigers varying the offense a bit, and Isbir's going to go to the far side. The pitch to Allen. He tries to get to the corner, but nice play there by the Panthers defense. Tim Messina, number 45, the senior, up to make the play. Get a look there at Allen, 600 yards, over 650 for him. Cromerty well over 1,000. This is an offense that racks up yardage.
Yeah, they do, Sean. You know, Jermaine Cromerdie gets most of the attention, but Glenn Allen has actually carried the ball more often than Cromerdie this year.
Get a look there at the leaders for both teams. And that's the give to Cromerty there, and he's stacked up Coe, Hindman, and David Kern up to make the play quickly. The Panthers stopped them there, Dan, but you see there's Cromerty, 1,138 yards, 19 touchdowns, and Allen's got 9 now. That graphic's already out of date, folks. 4:14 to play here. First quarter, the Mckeesport Tigers leading Upper St. Clair 7-0 in the WPIAL Quad A Championship.
This is really the first tough down and distance Mckeesport has had this game, about 3rd and 8.
And Isber's going to throw his first pass. He has Glenn Allen out of the backfield, but Allen's going to be stopped short of the first down. Messina again up to make the play for the Panthers defense.
This time the spin just wasn't enough. He tried the same tactic, but he was a couple yards short. He came off he was on the wing, Sean. He just kind of drifted out. Nice pass, led him pretty well. Just couldn't break through the tackle. Who was that? Cullen Hawkins, I believe.
Yeah, Hawkins made the first hit. Messina finished him off, and Rutherford is on to punt the football for Mckeesport. A little bit of a surprise to me for Coach George Smith. They've moved it so easily on the ground, but he's going to punt the football here. They're leading 7-0. Why not? A little trouble on the return there from Jason Daly for Upper St.Clair. He fields it there safely, and the Panthers will take over and get their second offensive possession right after this. It's Mckeesport leading Upper St. Clair 7-0 at Three Rivers Stadium. They're on their own 15.
They have to do something to kind of neutralize Mckeesport's linebackers, Short, Wilson, Eastman, and Miller, because they're 4 very aggressive linebackers. Look for some misdirection or some counters.
Here comes Hawkins, his first carry of the evening. He just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage as number 78, Josh Lefkowitz, up from his defensive end position, was able to submarine him. And there you see Brandon Short also helping out on the play.
He pulled a tackle and he comes out, but there's already penetration by Mckeesport. So here comes a tackle, but as you can see, there's Mckeesport defenders in the backfield already.
So 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Hammond split to the far side of the field. I formation set. The pitch is to Hawkins again. He'll try again and again. Nothing there, and a flag on the play. So Panthers may be forcing a little hold there, Dan.
Yeah, actually, I think it was a crackback block on the wide receiver who came in for the block, and I think that's what they're going to call. Yeah, clip.
Got a clip. You called it right on there. You look at a quick look there at Colin Hawkins. 1,119 yards coming into this game, averaging over 8 yards a carry. His first 2, he hasn't picked up a yard yet. Take a look.
See if we can take a look at the wide receiver. I don't know if we'll have that picture or not. We're not going to see it with that.
We have clipping on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Tigers are going to push them back, so Upper St.Clair is going to be forced back to their own 6-yard line on the half-distance penalty. That's going to set up here a 2nd down and about 20. A little less than 20 yards to play to go for the 1st down for Jim Render's Panthers. Jeff Bandler comes split to the right side of your screen. Hammonds will go to the left, both out of your picture. I formation set for McCardle, who is 1 for 2 passing in the evening. 2nd and 20. The draw to Hawkins, and he makes a nice read, but up to make the play quickly, Saeon Coleman, number 23, for the Tigers defense. Not much of a pickup, Dan.
And in hindsight, the decision by Coach Smith and Mckeesport to punt the ball turned out to be a real good decision because the defense held. They gave up the draw, gave up a couple yards, but nice play by number 23 from Mckeesport. Coleman.
Yeah, Saeon was playing the safety, and he didn't bite on the draw. He wasn't covering anybody, and came right up quickly, read it, and met Colin Hawkins head on. So that's going to set up a 3rd and about 13 here for the Panthers in a passing set. Fake to bunt, and McCardle's going to put it up.
Ah, nice play.
He had his man open, just a little short hop there, intended for Jeff Mandler on the far sideline, and they would have had 1st down yardage.
I'll be honest with you, Sean, I don't know if that ball hopped or he just dropped it. I know it was low. I'd like to see that again, but I couldn't tell if that was short hopped or not.
Yeah.
But he did have enough 1st down yards, and as I said, Mckeesport's decision to punt was a good one because they're going to get the ball back around, the 40 or 30 yard line of Upper St. Clair.
Leo Dess set to punt it out of his own end zone. He'll get it off from the 3. Glenn Allen back to return it. He receives it at the St. Clair 45.
He's got some room.
He is moving.
There's a flag.
Inside the 30. There's a flag on the play as Pat Phillips drives him out on the near sideline.
That's going to come back because of a clip or
Number 62, Bill Hindman of the Panthers may have been the man clipped on the play. Here you get Cromerty come over and step in front of Allen to field it.
Nice cut.
And a great cut. It just, look at, you can see why Joe Butler said a little earlier here on Telfar on the old preview of the
We have clipping
prospects for next year. That
on the kicking, on the receiving team during the return. First down.
The only thing that Jermaine Cromerdie may not have is size. 5'10", 165. But he's got everything else.
The thing that impresses me about him, Sean, is that he just kind of glides along. He's not just running full speed all the time. He kind of picks his spots to make his cut. He's a very smooth runner.
Tigers penalized back to their own 41-yard line where they'll set up 1st and 10. A broken bone a little bit here. They'll come with the option to give to the fullback. Isbir is really tough. That's number 32 on the carry, Dupree Patterson. Patterson only 33 carries in the season so far. Picked up 2, set up 2nd and 8. See the Tigers at the line of scrimmage, don't huddle. Isbir on the option to Cromerty and read nicely. The Panthers seem to have figured it out, Dan, after a rough start. As Wes Thornton and Jason McGame were right there to meet Jermaine Cromerdie.
And really, so far tonight, they've done a good job defending the corner. It's up the middle where they've gotten hurt. Almost looks like they've worked so much on it on practice, the option, and don't let them get outside, that they kind of forgot about the middle. But here again, it's good pursuit. You see a lot of Panthers there. The cornerback comes up and makes a tackle.
Yep, that is the end of the first quarter of play here at Three Rivers Stadium, and it's Mckeesport 7, Upper St. Clair 0. Back here at Three Rivers Stadium, where Mckeesport leads Upper St. Clair 7-0 here in the WPIAL AAAA Championship on a 42-yard touchdown run by Glenn Allen. There's the pitch to number 32 for the Tigers. That's Dupree Patterson, his second carry in the night, and he picked up a yard or two on the play, but again, Dan, the Upper St. Clair defense is kind of digging a hold here.
Yeah, and again, Barrett Hammond's number 2 for Upper St. Clair made another dynamite one-on-one tackle. Here comes the option right. Quarterback wait until someone plays him and then pitches the ball. And there you see Hammonds, slows him down.
And Tim Messina up to finish it off.
Finishes it off.
You know, there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be apparently a face mask call against Upper St. Clair. At least that's what
no, I don't think so.
Bob Zupanik, our stat guy, knows this one's going against Mckeesport.
10-yard penalty, third down.
Referee Bill Heinkamp. Offensive holding call against the Tigers sets it back.
Question is why you would take that call, though. It would have been fourth down. It's third down now and about 15 or 16 yards. I'm not really sure why Upper St. Clair took that penalty. It would have forced Mckeesport to punt.
We may see Isbir throw the ball for the second time here this evening. We're going to set up for the option. Oops.
He's got a lot of
Zach
room on this
Furness
side
had a
if he
chance
can
to
get
knock him down, but Isbir, good runner that he is, picks his way out to about the 47-yard line before David Kern finally gets him down. With, again, Dan, help from Barrett Hammonds and David Mandler. That's going to set up here the fourth down for the Tigers as we get a look at this. Jason McGahan right there with a shot at bringing Isbir down. Good running, and how about those linemen staying in front of him?
Yeah, they did a real nice job. Isbir made a nice cut to get about 7 or 8 more yards out of it.
Rutherford on to punt the football. Tim Stein and Jason Daly back to receive it for the Panthers. Rutherford will punt it from about his own 35. Gets it away cleanly, and Stein up to receive it at the 25. He's going to try the far side of the
field. Nice blocking.
Got a good hole and out across the 30 to about the 34-yard line.
Kind of get the feeling, Sean, that Upper St. Clair weathered the storm. You know, the storm came early on Mckeesport's first drive. He just had 2 defensive stops, and now you have a feeling maybe if they can get something going on offense, they can get back into this game. That penalty on Mckeesport really hurt on that punt return, as you'll recall. They would have had the ball on about Upper St. Clair's 30-yard line. Instead, they went back into their own field position, and St. Clair did a good job of stopping them.
And Mac McCardle's back on offense with David Mandler split to the bottom of the screen. Hammond's on the wing to the top side. He'll come in motion. Hawkins and Bunn behind him. 1st and 10 Panthers. McCardle's going to throw it. He's got Mandler at the 48 with the catch. Nice defensive play and coverage by Saeon Coleman for the Tigers, but the pass completed by McCardle.
Yeah. Once again, you got to remember, we didn't make too much of a score. McCardle was a freshman. There you see the pump that was to Hammonds, but instead he went to the other receiver, Mandler number 22. And I mean, there's a freshman quarterback looking off a receiver and going to a secondary receiver.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think we made enough of it before the game, but Mac McCardle is a freshman.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that this time last year he's playing grade school Catholic League football, and tonight here he is at Three Rivers Stadium with the Upper St. Clair Panthers. There's Tim Messina getting his first carry in at the tailback spot, and he's into Tiger territory down to about the 45 with a nice run. Cromerty up to make the play for his defensive back position for the Mckeesport Tigers.
Well, we talked earlier about Mckeesport's corral of running back, but Upper St. Clair has them too. You know, Tim Messina has rushed for 452 yards, and Bob Bunn has rushed for 460 yards. And that's in addition to the yardage that Hawkins has piled up this year.
Hawkins replaces Messina in the Upper St. Clair offense as they come out of the huddle with Mandler split to the top of the screen. McCardle with 2nd and 3. The give is to the fullback Bunn, and good tough runner that picks up the first down inside the Tigers 40, inside the 38, actually down to about the 37-yard line. And Brandon Short we've got to take a look at him and watch and see how he reacts and handles this play. He helped out on the tackle. Double team. Plays it off.
Yeah, even on a play where he overran it a little bit and got blocked, he still was able to make the play, even though it was a few yards downfield.
6'4", 246 pounds, and he'll be a Penn State Nittany Lion next season. McCardle with the fake. He's going to throw it on first down. He has Mandler deep. Pass a little underthrown, but Mandler makes the catch.
Makes the catch.
And Upper St. Clair has a first down at about the 6-yard line. The Upper St. Clair Panthers are ready to answer here, Dan.
Yeah, just a real nice pattern by Mandler McCardle to get the ball. There was a little underthrown, but Mandler cut in there. You see the pump again. Then he runs to the flag. McCardle hangs it up, and he had his man beat by 3 or 4 steps. Did a nice job of concentrating on the ball. He's a leading wide receiver for Upper St. Clair.
32-yard completion there. And the Panthers have first and goal at the 6. Hammond split to the right. I formation set. Fowler and Eric Render, the tight ends. There's the give to Cullen Hawkins. And he gets it down to about the 5. He's stacked up. You see Brandon Short there, along with number 81, Tom Knight, from his linebacker spot up to help make the play for the Tiger defense. Good gain of about a yard on the play, a little more than that, as Hawkins fought his way inside the 5. This will be his first yard gained in this game, but you see he had a big game last week against North Allegheny. Big 70-yard touchdown run that after they got behind in that one.
Mckeesport really seems to be keen on him, though, Sean. It might be a good idea to go back to Messina or to Bun to try and punch this in there.
Messina's the right half in this power I set. Hawkins is the tailback. Right. They're going to fake it, and McCardle's going to throw it. Or is he going to keep it? He is his receiver, and he has a touchdown to number 84, Mike Fowler, the senior tight end, with the catch, and Upper St. Clair is on the scoreboard.
Well, and again, credit to McCardle, because this is just a play-action bootleg. One man out on the pattern, and it's Fowler, and he's covered. But McCardle doesn't panic. He just keeps waiting for him. Fowler does a nice job of cutting in front of the defender and finding the open spot, and McCardle puts it nice and low for 6.
Hawkins will attempt the extra point, and it's up and good. We've got an even football game here with 7:13 to play in the first half. Upper St. Clair 7, Mckeesport 7, and the Quad A Championship will be back. Three River Stadium in the Quad A Championship. Dan, we got a great look at this touchdown here.
Yeah, Fowler lines up on the right side as a tight end, and as I said, he was the only one out on the pattern. There you can see he's pretty well covered, but nobody gives up on the play. Fowler comes back to the ball, and McCardle doesn't panic. Nice shot, guys.
See how close that was to having that left foot out of bounds down there, but right inside the boundary. As Cullen Hawkins kicks it off here, the Tigers will get it back. It's a short one that'll come to number 23, Saeon Coleman. And he's making a nice run of it here out to about the 40-yard line before McGillian is able to help bring him down for the Panthers, along with number 42. That's Matt Ellison. For those of you who watched last year's Quad A Championship, Matt, yep, he's a younger brother of Zach Ellis, who has since gone on to college, and Matt's a junior. You'll see him playing some defensive back and maybe even some offense in tonight's ball game.
Sean, one thing about when you've been in the WPIAL finals the last 6 out of 7 years, you don't panic. And Upper St. Clair didn't panic after that first drive. They kept hanging around, waited for the storm to weather down a little bit, and then tied this game up.
Isbir on the carry as he follows the back over right tackle and the short side option. Picked up a good 4 yards there on first down. Look at that, huh? Coach Render, you know, the score so quickly from the Tigers, you're thinking maybe blowout, but look at that, there's no way. 2nd and 6 here for Mckeesport. A little counter play out of the wishbone set. That's Cromerty with the carry. And he's about 2 yards short of first down yardage.
All of a sudden, this is a big play for Mckeesport. 3rd and about 2. Momentum's gone to Upper St. Clair side. They got to get it back here. And even if they don't score, they need to pick up a couple first downs just to change the field position. They're in pretty good shape here at their own 48, but they need a first down right here, Sean.
Again, like the Buffalo Bills, no huddle. Isbir to the fullback, and Isber's going to keep it and
nice
dive
effort
for the first down. What a run there, huh?
Isber's not going to dazzle you with his stats. You know, he's only 20 for 54 throwing the ball, but he has run for 520 yards, and he does a great job of running this wishbone. And that time he slid through and picked up a couple extra yards for the first down for Mckeesport.
Over 5 yards a carry on the senior on the season for the junior quarterback. He has 6 carries, 48 yards in this game already. There's the give to the fullback. That's Holtzman. Picked up a yard or 2, but not much more, as Zach Ellis was down there along with Aaron Coe for the Panthers to stop it up.
Sean, even though Isber has hurt Upper St. Clair a little bit with his running, I don't think they'll change their game plan. I still think Coach Render prefers him running the ball as to one of the running backs because they just have such great breakaway speed. You know, I think if you're St. Clair, you prefer the quarterback to be running the ball.
Sure. 2nd and 8. Option the other way. This is Cromerty. And look at the rim. He has broken through 46 yards. Glenn Allen did it from 42, and Jermaine Cromerdie says, I can do that.
Jermaine must have heard me because that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, I'd much rather have Isber nickel and dime me to death with 4- and 5-yard runs rather than that. This is just a great pitch. He waits till the last second, but Cromartie does a great cut because St. Clair's there, and here's the cut. Boom. And a great block by number 10.
And Kern just got collapsed on the play by Casey Holtzman, the fullback, and opened enough room for Jermaine Cromerdie, and the touchdown is there. Rutherford on to attempt the extra point out of Isber's hold, and the kick is up, and it's wide right. No good. So it's a 13-7 lead for the Mckeesport Tigers here at 3 River Stadium. The WPIAL AAAA Championships live on KBL. Well, championship football is brought to you by Eckridge. Trust the taste of Eckridge. By Haas Steak and Sea House. By Kendall Oil, forearm to protection. And by Cameron Coca-Cola, always in the game, always Coca-Cola. And also by Adelphia Cable Communications. Sean Daugherty and Dan Donahoe here at 3 River Stadium live on KBL, where the Tigers have just gotten a great run from Jermaine Cromerdie, 46-yard touchdown to take a 13-6 lead on the Upper St. Clair Panthers. And I should have said when I introduced the psychic Dan Donahoe, who basically predicted it as we got right into that play. Rutherford will kick the football off, deep to receive it, but he wants no part of Cullen Hawkins. They're going to kick it short.
Sean, that's a tough thing about playing against Mckeesport is you can shut them down, you know, 3 out of 4 times, 4 out of 5 times, but it only takes 1. I mean, they can just break away at any time, and even though your defense is looking pretty good, you know, there's Jermaine Cromerdie just running down the sideline, and I saw a highlight of that Connellsville play, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Isber made a dynamite pitch. Cromerdie made a great catch. It was on the back of his hip, and he was gone. Similar type play.
I read about it. Ellis has the Panthers set here 1st and 10 at their own 35. McCardle with 3 receivers. It looked like Barrett Hammonds may have jumped early. There is a flag. Hammonds catches the ball at the 38, and he's wrapped up quickly for a short gain. Play made by Jared Miller, the outside linebacker for the Tigers.
That's coming back.
Yeah, Hammonds looked like just a little too quick off the line of scrimmage for Upper St. Clair. And take a look there, and it's exactly what referee Bill Heinkamp is saying.
Here's a touchdown play again, Sean. Again, a nice job by Isber, waiting at the last second to pitch the ball.
On the offense.
And there's the cut.
5-yard penalty,
again,
still first down.
Number 10, let's give him credit again. Casey Holtzman with a dynamite block.
What was that? So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Panthers from their own 30-yard line. Pat Phillips in at the flanker spot, comes to the bottom of the screen with Mandler and Hammonds to the top. The lone back is Bob Bunn, the fullback. He takes it. He picks up 5-6 yards on first down there. That'll set up a 2nd and 9 there. A nice pickup there for the Panthers.
He had a nice formation, a nice change of strategy on offense to go with the 1 back, 3 wide receivers. It spread out the Mckeesport defense a little bit, opened up a little bit more room to run the ball.
Hawkins back in. Bunn will go to the bench here for the Panthers offense. We'll get a different look, maybe even. It appears to be so. We'll have split backs behind Mac McCardle. Handler split to the bottom of the screen. They're Pat Phillips and Cullen Hawkins in the backfield. McCardle wants to throw it on 2nd and 9. He has his tight end again across the middle, and that's Fowler, the man who had the big touchdown catch. He has first down yardage. Covered on the play by number 55, Bob Eastman. Eastman was there, but
pretty calm and cool, doesn't he? It's a straight drop again.
Right there.
Right there.
Almost cut the ref or the umpire in the top of the head, but George Geyer got out of the way. And,
good move on his part.
Yeah.
But right on the numbers, right in the seam.
Again, the single back set with Phillips and Hammonds to the bottom of the screen. There goes Hammonds in motion. Bunn was in there and
one time too many.
Oh my!
Wow!
What a play!
And you can guess who that is.
Brandon Short. That ball stuck in his hand. He caught that ball with one hand.
Looked like it, didn't it?
Oh my! Get a big, as you see there, a big fumble yard return against Connellsville for a touchdown. He wanted that touchdown on this one.
Let's take a look at it. Just a little roll out, half roll left. He's looking all the way. Telegraphed that one a little bit, but that's just a dynamite play by Short to tip it down to himself. You know, he is what's listed at 6'4".
Right.
You know, that's a pretty big target to go after.
It sure is.
I don't know. If I'm playing against Mckeesport, I just stay away from him. You know, I wouldn't even go near his area.
2:14 to play first half. Tigers back in offense. 1st and 10 at the Panthers 38. Flag. We'll hold it up. That'll mark Mckeesport back a little bit.
Another big series here with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first half. Upper St.Clair doesn't want to go into the locker room down 2 touchdowns against this team.
Here's the motion call against Mckeesport. That'll set him back to the 43.
We have a dead ball foul.
It'll be 1st and 15.
Illegal procedure.
Right back to the line of scrimmage.
Snap on the offense.
Ready to
Still
go.
first down.
Rutherford split to the top of the screen. The tight end is number 89, Ed Stockett. Kind of a broken wishbone behind Isbir. Isbir's going to come in the option this way, and the junior keeps it. Picks up about 6 or 7 on the play. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry for the season. Not your typical quarterback. As he followed the block there of 89, Ed Stockett, his tight end. That'll set up 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. 1:33 and ticking to play here in the first half. Wishbone set. Isber's going to throw it. He has Stockett running down the middle of the field, but unable to hold the football.
That's a nice play. You've been running the ball real well. Now you take a shot at it, slide your receiver down the middle of the field. There was really nobody there.
Just because Isber, just because he hasn't thrown it doesn't mean he can't throw it. They haven't had to throw it against anybody this year. That was right on the money there. Stockett just couldn't hold it. Sets up 3rd and 9 here for the Tigers. Cromerty and Allen both split in the slot to the top of the screen. And Isber's looking to throw the football. He has Cromerty deep, but that's going to fall incomplete and set up a 4th and 9 here for the Tigers. 1:17 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and that was pretty good coverage there by number 21, Cullen Hawkins for Upper St.Clair. He wasn't open on that play. Isber did the good thing, just threw it high and away from the defender so it wouldn't get picked off.
Ron Rutherford will come on to punt the football.
Timeout.
Got a timeout on the field called by
First timeout.
Yeah, I think they're going to go
Coach
for
Smith changed his mind. Yeah, what the heck, 1:17.
I think he has a lot of faith in his defense, even if they don't pick this up.
What do you do here on 4th and 9 with a team that, of course, if you're Jim Render, what do you do if you're looking at it from his side? But
Well, the only thing is, if I was a Mckeesport coach, if I thought I was in 4-down territory, I probably would have run the ball on 3rd down. If I thought I had another play coming, maybe try and pick up 4 or 5 yards on 3rd.
You don't have that. Enough of that. We got 4th and 9. Stop stalling. What do you do here?
Well, the one thing I haven't seen him do is try and throw a little screen or some pass out into the flat, again, to get the ball to my running backs any which way I can, whether I hand it to him or pitch it to him. But, I try and drop off a little flare pass out into the flat and give them some running room.
Well, both teams huddled at the sideline. I guess maybe trying to disguise a little bit of what they'll have here on 4th down.
Boy, you're tough.
Yeah, well,
He's trying to back out of that.
This is the big time. This is a championship. We're not letting you. There it is, 4th and 9. Isbir, one back behind him. He's going to throw it, maybe, as he is wrapped up and drilled. Jason McGann with the finishing touch. Zach Furness had him around the ankles, and the Panthers are going to take over at their own 38 here. Danny got about a half yard on the play. But here you'll see a nice defensive play for Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, and it was just good coverage in the secondary. I was watching downfield. There was no one open. He really didn't have much he could do. Number 57.
Jason McGann.
Jason McGann. Yeah, he said, hello, how are you?
He paid for that one. 1st and 10 Panthers. They've got minute 2 here in the first half to try to get even. It's a 13-7 Mckeesport lead. McCardle under center with the eye set. Hawkins is his tailback. And he's going to throw the football here on 1st down. Mandler down the far sideline. It's out of bounds and incomplete. They were looking for that big pass. They hit a 46-yarder earlier that worked out for them, but good coverage on the play by Mckeesport's Jason Harrison. And he also had some help over there.
A free safety came over. I think it was Keelan Rozier came over and just did a real nice job. There he is, number 12.
Yep.
Nice job. Good defense.
So 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. A double wide formation here with the eye set.
I think you run it out here, Sean. Just run out the clock and go into the locker room.
45 ticks on it. McCardle wants to throw down the middle. Wes Thornton was running down there, but he was covered nicely on the play by Saeon Coleman, the safety for the Tigers defense. Number 23, you got to look there at Rozier, who came over as well. But Coleman had Thornton under a blanket, it looked like, and we got 3rd and 10. Only 40 seconds. They may have to punt this ball.
Well, you're right, Sean. And Mckeesport still has 2 timeouts left. So regardless of what happens on this play, unless St. Clair gets a 1st down, you're looking at Mckeesport stopping the clock.
And we have a timeout here.
Timeout.
Called by Jim Render.
Upper St. Clair.
First timeout. Of course, on the other hand, if they get a 1st down here, he's got 2 left.
That's true.
Yeah. This is an Upper St. Clair team we've already seen put points on the board. McCardle's having a pretty good football game here. The freshmen surprising us a little bit. They come out throwing the ball as much as they have here in the first half. But then again, Mckeesport has basically forced them to do that, shutting down Hawkins.
Yeah, so far they've taken Hawkins out of the game. One thing I've been a little bit surprised about is seeing Mckeesport in the past. They blitz a lot, and I haven't seen Brandon Shorter, the other linebackers, coming on a blitz to try and get to McCardle. He's had pretty good time, and I think in the second half they're going to want to send some people a little bit.
So this time the Panthers return the favor by huddling at the sideline and come out and line it up here. Hammond split to the bottom of the screen or to your right as you look at it from that angle. Mandler to the left and the top of the screen now. Comes Hammond's in motion. There's the fake draw, and McCardle has a receiver across the middle, and it's Jeff Mandler. Great throw, good catch inside the 40-yard line, and the Panthers are going to call timeout here with 32 seconds to play in the first half, and then they did just what we, obviously a lot of confidence in the freshman to call the timeout and go for it.
Upper St. Clair.
Again, Sean, he's getting pretty good time. And as long as he's getting time to throw the ball, he's shown that he has the arm. There's a kind of a token play fake. But he isn't getting bothered at all. Mckeesport's going to have to put some pressure on him. Mandler is a good wide receiver, and if these two have time to do this all night, they're going to cause some problems for Mckeesport. This looks like a hold by number 66. A lot of hands. A lot of hands.
Well, let's give some credit to that offensive line. It's given them all that time. David Lanzi, number 58, is the center. Zach Furness, 63, is the right guard. Jason Bisson, the right tackle sophomore, 6'6", 255. He wears number 75. Left guard is Chris Cottrell. He wears number 50. Injured in last week's game against North Allegheny. Good to see him back in action this week. Only 185-pound senior, though, and then the big junior tackle, number 66 on the left side.
Keep your eyes open for number 2, Barrett Hammonds here, Sean. He doesn't get a lot of ink, but he's a nice player for St. Clair.
Ricardo's looking, and he has Mandler again, this time at the 11-yard line with the catch. He's well covered on the play by Keelan Rozier, and Jeff Mandler is in some pain on the turf.
I don't know how he held on to that ball. I mean, he got hit simultaneously, and maybe the hit kept the ball in his stomach because he got drilled.
This young man is a football player, Jeff Mandler is.
Again, a great job by the offensive line for St. Clair, keeping people out.
And we talked about it, we showed you, oh, look at the drill. Right in under the ribs. There's no padding there at all. But we talked about the Panthers coming from behind 2 weeks in a row. Well, the first week, losing 14-0 to Shaler, Jeff Mandler pretty much brought him back all by himself, as he not only caught a touchdown pass in that game from Cullen Hawkins on a halfback option, he also threw one to Barrett Hammonds on a flanker option. It was one of the most bizarre plays you'll see, and Hammonds, Dan was talking about, went up in the end zone and caught it in the middle of 3 Shaler defenders, and that basically was the ball game as Upper St. Clair came back to win that one after trailing 14-0 at the half.
Barrett Hammonds now will be his prime target, and I'm speaking of Mac McCardles, because I don't think that Mandler's going to come back, at least for this half. He took a good shot, and he might have bruised his ribs up a little bit.
24 seconds to play here in the half. We'll set the scene as you see it there, 13-7. Mckeesport leading Upper St. Clair, but of course the Panthers have 1st and 10 right at the Mckeesport 11-yard line when play does resume. And
Coach George Smith is walking up and down the sideline right now saying, I knew I should have punted. I knew I should have punted the ball.
Well, you see Jeff sitting up, and he's at least coherent. And the Upper St. Clair trainers talking to him. Look at there, you can see that's the weather you sport, and they see themselves up on the big Fujitron scoreboard here, the big Sony board up in River Stadium. Look at it, Jeff Mandler running off the field. He'll be back, Dan. Mark my words.
Yeah, he might have just, had the wind knocked out of him. If his ribs were injured, you wouldn't expect to see him running like that. But back to the action here. Again, one running back.
Doubly hurts when it's this cold.
Exactly.
Hawkins split to the bottom to the right of your screen. He's out of your picture, but he's at the wideout spot on this play.
Here's the blitz.
McCardle's looking. They hold him out long enough. Bunn catches it inside the 5. The fullback with his first catch of the night. And again, a timeout with 8 seconds to play in the half.
That time, Mckeesport did blitz. Brandon Short came up the middle, but offensive line did a nice job of keeping him.
That's your last timeout.
Look at Bunn. Bunn just a sophomore. I'm going to talk much about it. This is a real young Upper St. Clair team.
Take a look at Short, Sean. There you see him coming up there, but 63 does a nice job keeping him out. That ball just stuck in there, didn't it?
Oh, man.
It hung up there a little bit.
Yeah. Good coverage again by Keelan Rozier, but another completion for Mac McCardle, the freshman. A big first half here for Upper St. Clair. And the Panthers...
let's set the stage
what do you do here?
Well, you got 8 seconds and no timeout. So
maybe try to kick a field goal if it doesn't go?
I think they're gonna try and run a play. So Mac McCardle really has one responsibility. Well, 2, let's call it. Get a touchdown off the pass, or 3, don't take a sack.
That's an easier responsibility. I get the touchdown.
Yeah, he's got 2 choices here.
Obviously, not going to take a sack.
Cannot take a sack because, as I said, they're out of timeout. So you might as well give it a shot here and go into the end zone one time.
Well, there's a sign made a little premature, maybe. We'll find out. Hawkins split to the right side of your screen. He's out of the picture. Here comes Hammonds in motion. Mandler's to the left of your screen.
He's open.
Cardle in the middle. Jeff Mandler back in the football game. Catches the touchdown pass. 2 plays after the big catch down at the 11-yard line. And Upper St. Clair is even in this football game, 13-all with 4 ticks left in the first half.
Mac McCardle was just tearing it up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the poise. Again, short blitzes, and he got dumped. And McCardle just perfectly led his wide receiver to the back of the end zone.
That was the fullback Bud who dumped Brandon short. Picked up the blitz nicely as Hawkins on to attempt the extra point. It's up, and he's got the Panthers ahead 14-13. We'll have one more play here in the half. That'll be the kickoff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about this, Sean. When did they get the ball? With 40 seconds, 42 seconds on that
42.
drive?
How about that?
It's a pretty impressive drive.
61 yards on the drive for the Upper St. Clair Panthers to take the lead here, 14-13. But with the dangerous, of course, you can bet that Hawkins won't kick it deep. Let anybody with any speed from Mckeesport return this kickoff. But here's another look at the touchdown. See the under pressure.
Yeah.
Cardle, and still, fairly good coverage. Mandler just found a little seam.
No, exactly, Sean, because Mandler was in the left corner, and he wasn't open, but McArdle gave him time to finish his pattern, and he ran by the defenders, led him perfectly.
What a performance. Well, I thought maybe Hawkins would lay the ball down sideways or something, but he's got it standing straight up. What do you think? He's not going to kick this deep.
No, I wouldn't expect. He'll scrub it down the field.
Colin Hawkins has just gotten the Panthers ahead.
Kind of a half kick.
Bouncer, yeah. It's fielded by Rozier across the 30. That will be the final play of the half. Rozier's going to try to make it a bigger one. He got a flag on the play. So even if he scores, it might come back worse in his field. Oh, that's a good way to get yourself broken in half. Rozier did not have that happen to him, but the Panthers did pull him down.
Great effort by Rozier. He was going out of bounds and turned and reversed his field.
And that's the end of the first half of play here at Three River Stadium, a great Quad A championship. It's the Panthers leading Mckeesport 14-13.
I told him not to come up.
We're back here at Three River Stadium where it's 14-13. Upper St. Clair leading Mckeesport in the Quad A Championship. Great day of games here at Three Rivers. The first two games, Western Beaver over Riverview, 42-0. A great win for Western Beaver. And then, of course, New Brighton, 35-6 over Jeanette. And then, of course, game three, the one right before this one, a real terrific football game. McGuffey winning their first WPIAL Championship by a 12-6 score over Blackhawk. One that really went down to the wire, as it looks like this one's going to. Got first half stats to look at here, Dan, and see, it's hard to believe to see Upper St. Clair, leading in any of the categories, the way the game started.
Well, both teams have done it a little bit differently. Mckeesport's done it running the ball. St. Clair, I think, early on got a little bit worried about their running game.
Yeah.
Adjusted nicely and started throwing the ball, and Mac McArdle's been a star so
130
far.
yards passing in a football game for the freshman, just a half a play. And, don't think much of that, but for the season, he had 528 yards. Of course, he started the last 8 games, became the starter in the 6th game of the season for Upper St. Clair, and has, of course, started the rest of the way. And we touched on it a little bit in the first half. It's a young Upper St. Clair team. And it's a team that's going to be here. Apparently, they've been here every year we've been here. 6 out of the last 7 in the WPIAL finals, and looks like they'll be back maybe next year and the year after and the year after.
Well, I'll tell you, Sean, they started out a little shaky this year. They lost a Buckeye local team from Ohio. Then they came back and snuck by NA. And then they lost to Connellsville. And then they started playing some younger guys. And to Coach Render's credit, he took a little bit of criticism in the community, but stuck with what he wanted to do, and the team got better as the season went on, and they're kind of on an upswing right now, and they're young, and I think that's one of the things you would expect them to feel the pressure, but maybe because they're so young, they don't know any better. They're not feeling it. They know they got a couple more years left to come here if things don't work out, so they don't look like they're pressed or tense at all.
They certainly do not. On the other side of the ball, George Smith and the Mckeesport Tigers, they come into this game undefeated. They've been the #1 ranked team in the WPIAL all fall long. They're looking to be trying to be the 5th team in 6 years to win the WPIAL as an undefeated team, and kind of a tough mantle to carry. And they also have a history against these Upper St. Clair Panthers. They lost to them last year in the semifinals, lost to them the year before in the early rounds of the playoffs. So this is a big one for them. But Coach Smith, this team obviously very talented.
Well, this game's a toss-up right now, Sean. It's just who's going to make the better adjustments at halftime and come out and execute those adjustments.
All right, with that, we'll take a break here from Three Rivers Stadium where you're watching WPIAL Championships live on KBL. Watching the Upper St. Clair Panther Band here performing at the half. Sean Daugherty and Dan Donahoe here on the WPIAL Quad A Championship football game. As you see on your screen, Upper St. Clair leading Mckeesport 14-13. Dan, we've got some individual stats to go for here.
Yeah, Cromerty is rushed for 61 yards, Sean. One of those being the touchdown, the 46-yard run.
Right.
And also McArdle, let's look at the passing stats for Upper St. Clair. He is 9 for 13 for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mandler obviously is the leading receiver with 5 catches. Isbir has run the ball 8 times for 53 yards, and Allen's chipped in with 3 carries on 46 yards. Again, one of those was a 42-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, big first game, big first half, and should be a great second half coming after this. You know, there's several WPIAL football players, and has been a long history of them in the NFL over the years. Right now you got Joe Montana and Dan Marino. But the WPIAL obviously is not about producing players to play college and pro football. It's about a lot of other things, and we'll take a look back and a little bit of some WPIAL memories and find out some of the other things that guys have learned about life and formulated right here on the football fields in Western Pennsylvania.
McGuffey didn't have the
some really successful guys. We're going to take a break here. Sean Daugherty and Dan Donahoe at Three Rivers Stadium. The WPIAL Championships live on KBL. It's the Panthers 14-13 at the half.
Remember a lot of games I still played in high school with some of the guys that I played with. So, I know one of my best friends was a quarterback, and we had about 4 plays on offense. 3 were running plays, and 1 was a pass play, and I was the recipient of the pass play. So, it was fun. It was very enjoyable. It's a time of your life that I don't think anyone ever forgets. That's your high school days, because it's there's a lot of camaraderie that's built, and there's a lot of memories that will never be taken away.
I can remember Mckeesport they were probably the most physical team every year. And I remember first play of the game, they called a play. I was playing split end, and I ran the wrong pattern, and it would have been a touchdown, most likely. I would have been wide open. And it was a waggle, and I thought they were waggling the opposite way, so I ran across the field instead of running straight down the field. And I remember the coach going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I go, "I thought it was the other way." That's what stands out in my mind.
How about split end? Jeez. Come back onto the field. Mckeesport Tigers ready to emerge from the tunnel at the far end of the stadium. You are watching the WPIAL Championships live on the KBL Sports Network. WPIAL Championship football brought to you by Chevrolet, your local Chevy Geo dealers, proud to sponsor WPIAL football on KBL. By Sears Brand Central, the brands you want at the store you trust. By Waynesburg College, where opportunities begin. And by Powerade, the official sports drink of the WPIAL. Sean Daugherty and Dan Donahoe here with you at Three Rivers Stadium. We've had a great one here so far. You got to look at tonight's crowd. This is a bitter cold night, folks. It's gotten progressively colder, obviously, all day. And, of course, once night fell, it was all over. You can see these fans standing, trying to shift their weight back and forth, anything to stay a little bit warm. You get a look there at the Tiger Band after a great performance here at the half. Tigers out on the field, and here come the Upper St. Clair Panthers. It's a 14-13 Upper St. Clair lead over the #1 ranked Mckeesport Tigers, trying to complete a perfect season as the WPIAL champs and win actually what would be the first since 1938. The whole town of Mckeesport is here for the occasion, or so it appears, and we've had a good one here so far. We've got, you see the teams coming out looking at the, we're not getting ready to warm up before the half. Dan, what do you do here at this point of the game if you're the Mckeesport Tigers? They came out and scored 2 easy touchdowns, but, you know, they didn't dominate the half. I think they're surprised.
Well, I think they're surprised at the passing efficiency of Upper St. Clair. especially McCardle and Mandler at the receiving end. I'm sure they're going to have to make some adjustments as far as that, because they threw for 130 yards in the first half, and they were impressive passes too, Sean. It wasn't like they were throwing 5-yard out patterns or 6-yard in patterns. I mean, he was throwing the ball downfield, making connections. So I think they're probably a little bit worried about that, and I think what they're going to have to do is bring a little bit more pressure on McCardle. But at the same time, they have to be concerned that now maybe St. Clair will be able to run the ball a little bit better since they've stretched the field out.
You pointed it out a couple of times. They tried to come at Mac McCardle. The Panthers have just done a real good job protecting him. And they will have the ball here to start the second half after kicking off to start the football game. And with the lead, do you think Coach Renner, any change in his style offensively?
No, I think he just realized that they were having trouble running the ball early. Again, Mckeesport has a very aggressive defense, so he had to switch his philosophy a little bit and throw the ball, spread the field out, make it a longer field. And now I think he's going to come back and try and run the ball a little bit, Sean. I don't know if at this stage of the game, if he thinks he's going to have to throw the ball the rest of the game to win. I think he would still like to be able to run the ball a little bit.
Well, we'll get a look soon enough as the captains get ready to come out and meet at midfield. The Tiger captains are Brandon Short, number 60, number 55 is Bob Eastman, inside linebacker, 6', 200-pound senior, and he is a heck of a football player, as is number 43, Roger Wilson, the other outside linebacker, 6'3", 206, and the captains for Upper St. Clair, Zach Furness and Barrett Hammonds. Furness on your right, he wears 63, and Hammonds wears number 2. And it's kind of odd, you see 2 sets of captains and not one quarterback, but 2 underclassmen here quarterbacking these football teams in the championship. And the Tigers will kick it off here right to left to start the second half. Trailing 14-13 with 2 great touchdown runs in the first half. Glenn Allen, 42-yarder to get things started in the first minute and a half of the game. And then the 46-yarder, of course, by Jermaine Cromerdie. And Mckeesport fans on the near side of the stands anticipating a big second half from their team.
I'll tell you, Sean, they're enjoying this. As you said, they haven't been here in a long time. And coming in from the parking lot, they were out there tailgating. A nice showing from Mckeesport supporting their team. Haven't won a championship since 1938 when they beat Johnstown 38-20. There's a little trivia for
I'm just looking at the, I didn't know who that was. Boy, you really did some research on this one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking back at the Tigers season, and there you see the penalties. The last play of the first half, there were some penalties marched off, and there you got the 15-yard mark off. And here's a possibility, kick it off from the 45 about it, maybe onside, huh?
Yeah, you can give it a shot now because even if St. Clair recovers it, you figure they're going to be at about their 30-yard line. So that's a good point shot. There's not as much of a risk.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the punt return at the end of the first half against Upper St. Clair, apparently after the play. Obviously after the play, or the half would not have ended, is what set up this situation here. Ron Rutherford getting ready to kick it off, and as I started to say, looking back at the scores, this may be the first time Mckeesport's been behind at the half all season. So it'll be interesting to see how they react. Rutherford's going to squib it, but it's going to come all the way back to the back line of the Panthers return team in a hole as Cullen Hawkins gets it out across the 26 to the 27-yard line before he's brought down by Jason Harrison, the cornerback for the Tiger defense, number 7.
Nice return by Hawkins to get it out of a hole. A pretty decent field position given the penalty. They started about their 27-yard line.
And, you talked about the onside kick possibility. It wouldn't have been much of a difference had they tried it. So Mac McCardle, after the big first half, brings the Panthers to the line. 1st and 10, Mandler comes split to the bottom of the screen. Here's a wishbone for the Panthers in the backfield. Butt will go in motion, though. Split backs, the pitch, the quick pitch, it'll be Tim Messina, and he breaks loose. 35-yard line, a nice 8-yard pickup on first down for the Panthers.
See, they lined up in the wishbone, Sean, and the fullback went in motion and led the play. Here's the pitch. Nice cut back.
Breaks
a couple tackles.
Yep. Eastman and Rozier both had shots at him. Saeon Coleman able to finally drag down Tim Messina, but it's going to be second and real short here, less than 2 yards for Upper St. Clair. Mandler split to the top of the screen with Hammonds in the slot and Hawkins to the bottom of the screen. Bunn is the lone back. You're going to fake it to him, not give it to him, and the sophomore has the first down, as Dan says. Tackled on the play by number 81, Tom Knight, from his defensive end position. Coach Render tried to spread him out there and see if he could break a crack up the middle, but he didn't get the size of crack that he maybe hoped for, but at least he got the first down, and Panthers in business.
Well, you know, Hawkins got all the publicity in the stories this week in the papers and so far, and it should be because he was a star this year, but the other running backs for Upper St. Clair are picking up the slack right now.
Hammond split to the bottom of the screen, I formation set. Hawkins is the tailback behind sophomore Bob Bunn. He'll get the carry and not much more as Brandon Short is up there to make the play along with the nose tackle Mark Steele. 171-pounder, number 38 Steele is. Plays on the nose of that Tigers defense, and he's a good one. Using his quickness to make the defensive play on Hawkins that play. So that sets up a 2nd and 10. Is really no gain again for Colin Hawkins. But Dan, you mentioned that he was a star, at least you get that impression reading the papers. This is really an Upper St. Clair team without any stars, just a solid football team.
That's true.
McCardle's going to look to throw it here, 2nd and 10.
A couple guys open.
He had Bunn threw the ball a little behind him. Coverage on the play by Jermaine Cromerdie. It'll set up 3rd and 10. And now Bob Bunn may have pulled something there as he reached back, try to catch that football, and you see him down there on the turf.
3 receivers out on the pattern, Sean. I thought he had Barrett Hammonds open a little bit deeper, but he threw underneath the Bunn. Then you see his feet go out. Oh, yeah.
Ankle,
his ankle went out from under.
And when it's cold out, and that hurts even worse, huh?
And that's a turf field injury right there. You could see his shoe just got caught up on the turf as he reached back for the ball.
Well, the funny thing is they're not even looking at his legs, though. Talking to him. To wait and see, obviously. Mckeesport fans on the near sideline.
All of a sudden, Mckeesport woke up.
Come to life. I've heard that cheer here in this stadium a few times before, huh?
Yeah.
Now they're looking at Bunn's right leg, and pretty much what Dan guessed is that right foot caught on the turf. Cardinals going to wander over and have a little speak with head coach Jim Render of Upper St. Clair. He goes, Bunn, he's up, he's going to walk off. Yeah,
he's a tough
kid. Does look good, yeah.
We thought Mandler was out for a while. He comes back 2 plays later, catches a touchdown pass. Right. Bunn's ankle went in about 22 different directions, and he walks off the field.
Yep, he's jogging. We'll see more of him here this evening. Meanwhile, see Dino Albert, usually the backup fullback for the Panthers. They'll go with split backs here. McCardle that time, and he tried to get the ball to Tim Messina, who came out of the backfield. A flag, and Brandon Short's going to be called for interference, either he or Roger Wilson. Into coverage. They had the man covered, but is that going to maybe give the Panthers a first down here, Dan?
Well, Roger Wilson got good pressure, and it's going to be interference.
Yep. Flag thrown against Brandon Short.
I think so. I think Roger Wilson came on the blitz from the outside, Sean. Maybe you can pick him up on the right side of your screen. There he is.
Comes.
And that forced McCardle to throw
defensive pass interference.
And Short,
automatic first down.
Close, huh? Yeah, it is. A little, thinking that ball coming through Messina's hands, the ball overthrown, and it's going to make it nonetheless. It's 1st and 10. The Upper St. Clair Panthers at the Mckeesport 46. And the defensive momentum the Tigers had created, lose a little bit of it here. Hawkins back in there.
I've been waiting all game for Upper St. Clair to run some type of a reverse, Sean, just to capitalize on the aggressiveness in Mckeesport's defense, but they haven't so far.
Gino Albert, number 44, the fullback, the fake to Hawkins. McCardle thrown over the middle. A little high that time. He had Baron Hammonds and Eric Render, number 88, the intended receiver. Across the middle of the field, he had Mandler deep, but that pass just really not thrown very accurately.
No, he hasn't, his first 3 passes of the second half haven't been real good. This also is high, and again, he really wasn't open very much, so, really, if he would have thrown it lower, I think Short would have intercepted. Again, I don't know why they keep trying to throw the ball in Brandon Short's area, because he seems to be around it all the time.
The sophomore Eric Render just could not go high enough to pull that one in. So 2nd and 10 for the Panthers at the Mckeesport 46. They give us to Tim Messina, who's in the tailback spot. He's down to the 40. Good tough run there. Picked up 6. Set up 3rd and 4 for the Panthers.
Tim Messina had a real nice year, ran for 452 yards during the season for about an 8.2-yard average. So he can run the ball also.
A big game about halfway through the season against Bethel Park, and ever since then has been seeing more of the football. And as Dan said, he can run the football. Tim Messina, the tailback, behind Gio Albert, the fullback. So a different backfield here for Mac McCardle here on 3rd and 4. Handler to the top of the screen, Hammonds to the bottom. McCardle's looking for Hammonds and way overthrown. That's going to set up a punting situation here for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, apparently.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
I think I would punt if I'm Upper St. Clair. They have nice field position. They can push Mckeesport back, but it doesn't look like it. Coach Render, he's gambling a little bit tonight, as he's been wont to do in the past.
So it'll be 4th and 4. Big defensive play here for Mckeesport. Mandler comes split to the bottom of the screen. Hammonds on the wing at the top. It's Albert and Messina behind Mac McCardle, the freshman. 4th and 4. Messina on the pitch. Can he get to the corner? He can get there, but not much there. As Brandon Short up there and wrap him up along with Jason Harrison from his corner spot, and the Tigers will take over there, Dan.
Watch Brandon Short directing traffic, and he reads it right away and gets over. And number 7, Jason Harrison, and Brandon Short just do a real nice job. But Brandon Short just gets over there, and that's a long way for the linebacker to go.
Like a man among boys, huh?
That decision might come back to haunt Upper St. Clair. Sean Mckeesport with good field position at the 40.
60 yards from pay dirt, trailing by 1. 8:08 to play, 3rd quarter. Not much there, though, on first down as Jason McGahan and Jay Allman stop it up there to give the quarterback, actually, and the keeper, Isbir, averaged over 6 yards a carry in the first half. Not much there. It's going to be a 2nd and a long 9 for the Tigers. As you see, once again, a reminder, no huddle. Ron Rutherford split to the bottom of the screen. Justin Liebertor split to the top.
Right tackle of Mckeesport. So that'll cost him 5.
Illegal motion signaled by referee Bill Heidkamp. And as you look there at George Smith,
we have a dead ball foul.
7
false start
points in the last
against
4
the
games.
offense.
This
It's still 2nd down.
And of course, they held ground here early in the second half, but it's 2nd and a long 14 here for the Tigers offense. Brandon Short, a right guard for the Tigers offense, lined up next to center Mike Cherepko. To try the middle again, but again with not much success. As McGahan at the bottom of the play again for Upper St. Clair. Some hope from Aaron Kell as the fullback Holtzman picked up about 2 or 3 on the play. It's going to set up 3rd and 11 here for the Tigers. Double wide, Rutherford to the bottom. Number 44, Justin Liebertor to the top. There's the option. He's
got some room.
Cromerty has room,
and
he's got more than room. He's going to take this one down the sideline.
Get him the ball.
That's 2 touchdowns for him on about, 5 carries in the game. He took that one 61 yards.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Sean, Jermaine should go over to Glenn Allen, shake his hand, pat him on the back, and say thank you for a delicious block that he just blew the Upper St. Clair defender over to the sidelines, which opened the lane up. But just a super block. Let's see if we can pick it up. Again, nothing fancy, just the option.
Allen wears 21.
You're going to see Allen right there.
He just blew that defender, and Kern had a shot at him, and Cromerty just held him off. Shook him loose and went into the end zone. And there you see Jermaine Cromerdie with the touchdown run, and it's a Mckeesport lead here as they go for two. Allen's going to throw it, has an open receiver. Rutherford with the catch. It's a 21-14 Mckeesport Tigers lead with 6:51 to play in the third quarter here in the WPIAL Quad A Championship at Three Rivers Stadium. We'll be back with much more right after this. Donahoe, you know, the WPIAL Quad A Championship here live from Three Rivers Stadium. Mckeesport Tigers having just taken a 21-14 lead on a great 62-yard touchdown run by Jermaine Cromerdie, the senior running back for the Tigers. Another squib kick fielded by Eric Render, and he's going to get it out to the 39 and set up good field position for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. But before we do that, let's take another look at this great run.
It's a fake to the fullback again. Isbir doing a nice job waiting for the pit. There's that block. Look at that. He's in the third row of the
Pat
seats.
Phillips all the way back into the bench. Real close to stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, it was
there,
close,
huh?
wasn't it?
But no, the official was right there on the play. And here's the two-point play. Glenn Allen takes the pitch from Isbir and draws everybody up and got wide open in the back of the end zone.
You can hardly blame the St. Clair defenders after, that was a great call, the option there. After, running for the touchdown off the option.
For St. Clair down 7. Hawkins with the carry. He's going to break his first one of the game. He's got 12 or 13 on that one into Tiger territory. The first big run for Cullen Hawkins. You can only hold him down so long. The good ones you can. The junior.
On both sides for Upper St. Clair and Mckeesport, on both coaches on fourth down decide to go for it in the series right after the other team scored touchdowns. It's kind of evened out now. As you'll recall, before Mckeesport's touchdown, Upper St. Clair chose to go for fourth down instead of punting the ball and didn't get it.
The Panthers have Hawkins, you see 5 rushes, 20 yards, just 20. Pete Phillips in number 43, he's split to the bottom of the screen. Wishbone set. Messina is back there with Hawkins. Bunn's going to reverse his field. They're going to go to Hawkins. He's looking for Pete Phillips deep down the near sideline, but nothing there. It was well covered by the Tigers and the ball well overthrown, as I think Hawkins just unloaded that, Dan.
Yes, he did, and it was well covered, and that's what he should have done. And again, when you haven't had a lot of success running wide, you're really not going to fake anybody out. And they did, and there you can see Cromerty just sitting back there, and good decision, throw it away and start over.
Pete Phillips, a junior, he wears 43. His brother Patrick, a senior, playing defense, wears 24. You see him a little bit on offense as well. Mandler comes to the bottom of the screen here, 2nd and 10 for the Panthers at the Tigers' 48. Counter play to Hawkins, and they run that counter tray that the pros run, and Hawkins real close to first down yardage before he's brought down on the play by Jared Miller from his outside linebacker spot for the Tigers defense.
Well, this is a play I think that St. Clair will have some success with. There you see the left guard pulling, getting in the way a little bit, and a nice run by Hawkins, broke a tackle and picked up about 4 or 5 more yards. The misdirection and the counters and the reverses, so I think what St. Clair has to do if they want to run the ball against Mckeesport. I think you're going to have trouble running against them straight up man-on-man blocking.
Yeah, because they do pursue so well. It's going to be 3rd and 1. He's a little short of first down yardage. There's the wishbone set. Hammonds is the one halfback on the near side, and Messina's at the top of the screen. Hawkins came out limping, and there's the pitch to Barrett Hammonds, looking for his speed, and he's going to be stopped short of first down yardage by number 81, Tom Knight, for the Tigers defense. That's going to set up another 4th and short here, Dan. Think Coach Render might punt him deep here now? Nope.
No, not on this one, I don't, Sean, because you're only talking about a half a yard, maybe a yard.
Eric Render checks into the...
You know, right now you're not as concerned about field position as trying to get a touchdown and tie this game up.
Mckeesport crowd comes alive. 2 tight ends set. Power Ive set with Hammonds, the halfback on the near side. Seen as your tailback. McCardle stumbles coming out from center and wanted to throw the football, but landed short. Sacks him way back, and the Tigers are going to take over the football in Upper St.Clair territory. A great defensive play, but probably helped a little bit by the stumble coming off center.
Well, it helped a lot by the stumble, Sean, but he was trying to go for number 84, Mike Fowler. There's see the stumble, and that's all that Mckeesport needed. But he wasn't open. I mean, he dodged the first offender, but downfield, no one was open. Short comes in to finish it off.
Roger Wilson, the first man at him, number 43 for the Tiger defense, and Tiger offense in business here, 1st and 10 at the Upper St.Clair 47. Isbir gives to his fullback. Good yardage up the middle for Casey Holtzman. He's inside the 40.
He looked like he was one step away, too. Again, St. Clair putting 6 men on the line of scrimmage. If you can break through there, there really doesn't appear to be too many defenders in the secondary.
Gain of 8, we'll call it a 2nd and 2 here for the Tigers, just inside the 40-yard line. Backside handoff to Allen, and he's got the first down, though, about the 35-yard line. As the Tigers are mixing up that no-huddle wishbone set, coming right at the Panthers. You see Glenn Allen come right up the middle, and David Kern got a good shot on him. Jeff Mandler comes up from the backside to finish the playoff, and it's 1st and 10 Tigers at the Panther 35. They give us to the fullback Holtzman. He's down to about the 31. The ground game is rolling now, Dan.
Yeah, and again, they're just setting it up. They're running in the middle, running in the middle. Sooner or later, the pitch to the option back is going to come. Cromerty only has 7 rushing attempts, Sean. He has 122 yards on only 7 carries.
Panthers have shifted into that 6-man line to see if they can stop some of these running plays here. We'll see what happens. They give us to Holtzman. No, Isber's going to keep it, and he gets through a crack on the far side, and Bill Hyman got him from the backside, or he would have had a touchdown there. He does have a first down inside the 25. Junior Bill Isbir.
Yeah. St. Clair looks like they need a timeout on defense. They're just on their heels right now. They look a little bit disorganized. And
1st and 10 Tigers. There's Cromerty.
There's a nice stop.
And he's wrapped up. Kern, Bunn, and Jay Allman for the Panther defense right there to meet him. No gain there. That'll set up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at the Upper St. Clair 19. And, you know, Dan talked about the timeout. When there's no huddle, you see Cromerty 122 yards and just 8 carries, huh? But here comes the option this way. Isbir, nice play as Allen is met head on. Tim Messina up to really to drill him.
Isbir looked like he really didn't want the ball and said, here, you take it.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
You can't do much with it either.
Yeah.
that is not a good situation to be in when you're running the option as a quarterback. But Allman, you see, went for the fake, but McGahan just coming down. Bunn came up to force the pitch, and Messina, they covered it real nicely. 3rd and about 11 here for the Tigers. Same play. And again, it's read by Messina and Bunn. And it's a gain of about a half yard, so that's going to set up 4th and 10 here for the Tigers. Allen with the carry that time, though, instead of Cromerty.
You know, the difference between the previous 2 plays and the option that we've seen earlier, Isbir didn't do a real good job on those 2 plays, making someone play him. You know, the defender kind of had him trying to figure out whether he should run or pitch the ball. You have to make the defender play you if you're the quarterback running the option.
Big defensive play here for the Panthers. 4th and 10 for Mckeesport. Isbir looking to throw the football. He's going to tuck him in and try to run for it, but he's short. Jay Allman stayed with him long enough to drag him down, and the Panthers are going to take over 1st and 10, but inside their own 20.
Good decision by Bill. No one was open. I think that was his best shot at tucking it and trying to get it himself because there was no one out. Allen was out into the flat, and they had someone running deep, but St. Clair did a good job on coverage. So they dodge a bullet, and that should end the 3rd quarter.
Looks like probably the last play of the 3rd quarter as the clock ticks down to 5, 4, 3, 2, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter of play here at Three Rivers Stadium, where Mckeesport, looking for their first WPIAL Championship since 1938, leads Upper St. Clair 21-14. 12 minutes of football to play here at Three Rivers Stadium. It's Mckeesport 21, Upper St. Clair 14, in the final game of the WPIAL Championships 1994. 1st and 10, Upper St. Clair at their own 17. Counter play, and this is Cullen Hawkins in his 2nd big run of the game. He's got about 9, close to 10 out. Looks like
he got the first down.
Yeah.
They're going to give him forward progress. He did pick up the first.
Sean Doherty and Dan Donahoe bringing you this football game here live on KBL from Three Rivers Stadium. You see Hawkins just cut back and just out of reach of Brandon Short up to make the play. Jason Harrison, though, to stall him off. But it's 1st and 10 Panthers.
That's been the most successful running play for St. Clair, was running that counter, Sean.
Yeah.
Again, taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the Mckeesport defense.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Hammond's in the slot to the top of the screen. The fake, and here's the hand back to Hawkins. Another big hole as he gets it out across the 40 to near the 45-yard line. Big pickup. He's starting to catch fire here, Dan. In the
people were starting to wonder about Hawkins and all the yards he rushed for. This is typical for him right here. Great blocking. Nice block on Short.
Oh, look
he got
at
drilled
him.
twice.
Good big hits. And a nice defensive play there by Saeon Coleman up from the safety spot to knock it down. 1st and 10 Panthers at their 45. You just see Hawkins following Baron Hammonds, but Coleman played it off. Hawkins takes the pitch. Inside, he picked up 6 more. Tiger territory.
Short with the tackle, but about 5-6 yards downfield. That was a nice run by Cullen. He didn't look like he had a whole lot of room there going around the right end.
6 yards at halftime. He's up to 63 on 9 carries. Early in the 4th quarter here at Three Rivers Stadium, 10:35 to play. Panthers trailing by 7. Threw the ball most of the first half. The running game starting to roll for them now. Hammonds comes in motion. Mandler at the top of the screen. There's the give to Hawkins again as they fake the pitch, and he's down close to another 1st down.
Well, that is going to be close.
Number 81, Tom Knight, in there again for the Mckeesport defense from his defensive line position.
1st down stick is right before the stripe. I think he's going to be just, boy, I'll tell you
See
what.
if are they going to measure? Looks like it. The official has called for the clock to stop. They're going to bring the sticks out.
I mean, it's going to be by a nose of a football. If that, though, I think he might just be a little bit short. That view's not going to help us much. There we go. Well, that's about as close as it gets, huh?
Yeah, I guess there's a little
credit card.
Yeah, there they stretched it a little. It's about 1.5 inches here on this, so it's going to be 3rd and real short for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Mckeesport defense needs to dig in here.
I don't think I'd mess around here. I think I would just quarterback sneak it and take it. Try and pick up the 1st down.
Sneak?
Yeah, I'd sneak it right here.
How about, does the thought with a 155-pound quarterback concern you at all?
No, not a bit. It's just when it's that close, I will just take my chances for this. The thing you worry about when you run a play is, someone like Brandon Short making a great defensive play and throwing your running back for a loss.
Yep.
I just would take it right behind the center.
See if Coach Rinder thinks the same way you do. Dan, we got power eyes set. 2 tight ends. McCardle under center. Here comes Hammonds in motion to spread him a little bit. On the fullback, big haul.
That'll work too.
He got, okay. He'll get a pickup of about 4.5 on the play down to the 41-yard line, where the Panthers will have 1st and 10. WPIAL Championship football here at Three Rivers Stadium. WPIAL football brought to you by Eckrich. Trust the taste of Eckrich. By Haas's Steak and Sea House. By Kendall Oil, pour on the protection. By Cameron Coca-Cola, always in the game, always Coca-Cola, and by Adelphia Cable Communications. Pat Phillips in motion. 1st and 10 Panthers. McCardle looking to throw the football. He has Bunn to pass, unable to pull it in. It was a little awkward reach for that one. He had the hand up, and you know, it's a cold night. You see the gloves and everything, but no catch.
The Mac has been high on almost every pass in the second half, and you have to wonder if, you know, it has gotten pretty cold out, and if he just doesn't have the feel of the football like he had it in the first half, because again, he had a man up and that ball just floated on him. You can see that. Still could have been caught. Would have been a nice catch.
0 for 5 in the second half is McCardle. 2nd and 10 here for the Panthers after picking up 3 straight rushing 1st downs. High formation set. McCardle's going to give it to his tailback or no? Yes, it is. It's Messina on the draw, and he gets it down to the 35-yard line. McCardle, a pretty good ball handler as well. We talked about Isbir, but that's why the freshman is running the offense here at Upper St. Clair. They have a pretty good backup too, a sophomore named David Nicholas, who took the Panthers 93 yards against North Allegheny in like the 2nd game of the season. Of course, all in the air in the last minute and a half to win that one. But the steadiness, and obviously you can see he's a real composed kid. Panthers here 3rd and 5 as McCardle's going to throw it again. Got Bunn coming out of the backfield. Look for.
Here's one that soared too high.
Yeah, over the middle to Hammonds, and it was picked off.
Fumble. They got it back.
Number 23, Saeon Coleman with the interception into return to Upper St. Clair territory. The ball was loose on the turf, and the Panthers say they haven't, but the officials say no. It'll be Mckeesport 1st and 10. There you look at the pass play again.
Again, it sailed, Sean.
Yeah. Short covering, Hammond's pretty good. And Coleman just comes up, makes the interception, just playing center field. He's going to take it back into Panther territory.
I think he got it back himself, too. You see Coleman, his momentum carried him forward, and I think he was able to get on the ball.
A pretty good hit from Zach Furness. And see who the other Panther was. It was Bob Bunn who knocked it loose. But Panthers couldn't get there quickly enough. And 1st down, Isbir keeps it and picks up a nice 6-7 yards. Tigers offense back in gear here, Dan.
Well, if Mckeesport wants their 1st championship since 1938, here it is right here on this drive, 42 yards. There's a touchdown here, should put it away. There's 7 minutes and 57 seconds left on the clock.
2nd and 3, Rutherford split to the top. Wishbone set to give us to Cromerty, and he's going to take it inside the 40 and pick up the 1st down. And Messina actually dragged him down from the backside. Jermaine Cromerdie, a big night here with 2 long touchdown runs. 62 and 46 yards for the Mckeesport Tigers.
It's hard to believe someone who's only run the ball 9 times has had such an impact on the game, but he has.
Well, I guess I was a little premature in calling that a 1st down. The officials going to take a look of it here as you see Cromerty with 126 yards already in the game and still not even 10 carries. But there is the 1st down, so how about that? We had one right. We're 1 for 2, I think.
The other thing you have to be impressed with Mckeesport is they haven't turned the ball over. You know, and running the option,
pitching the
ball, especially like a quarterback like Isbir pitching at the last second all the time, and they haven't turned the ball over, other than the interception when the fumble on the return, but offensively they haven't turned it over.
1st and 10 Tigers.
That's offsides, but they didn't call it.
The fullback, Holtzman, another 1st down pickup as he almost took that one toward the end zone. Hammond's up to make the play for the Panthers secondary, but McKeesport's really in business now at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock ticking, 7:21 to play in the football game. The Tigers leading in here 21-14 as you see the fullback Casey Holtzman and Jeff Mandler are coming over and drag him down from behind as well. Here's the give to Holtzman. No, Isber's going to keep it and they'll stack him up. Zach Ellis and Jay Allman at the bottom of that one. There's a look at the senior 73, Jay Allman, 225-pounder. Sets up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Just outside the Upper St. Clair 25-yard line. Isber's going to take the option to the far side. And McGain comes to meet him, but he picks up 5.
He does. That'll give them about a 3rd and 4, 5 yards for the first down.
I would think playing defense against this offense can be real tiring. And especially if they're not huddled up, they just come coming right back at you. And
yeah, the funny thing about it, Sean, is it's not a hurry-up offense, though.
No.
It's just they don't huddle up. I mean, they still take 20-some seconds between each play.
You're going to bring it this way. Isber going to go to Cromerty on the pitch. Short of the first down as Hindman and Mandler combined on the tackle for the Panthers defense. And I believe get the clock stopped. Now the clock's still running. Under 6 minutes to play in the football game. As Isber gets it off to his star, Jermaine Cromerdie.
I don't know why the clock didn't stop on that.
Yeah, he's out of bounds.
But they're going to be about a yard, a good yard short, a little bit longer than a yard.
4th down. Big play for the Panthers defense. They need to get the ball back. They're trailed by a touchdown. McKeesport can maybe put away their, where's Isber and the keeper, and real close to first down yardage.
Isber kind of just looked like he was sleepwalking there through the line of scrimmage, trying to find a spot, and he's going to get the first down.
Here's the first down. See the reaction of the enormous McKeesport crowd on the near side. Not too many people stayed over from the early games today. It's kind of a bitter cold day, bitter cold evening here now at Three Rivers. 1st and 10 Tigers at the 15. Allen with the carry down to the 11. Tigers are wanting to take it in and do it in style as they lead at 21-14. Glenn Allen, haven't heard that name too much since early on. He broke the first long run of the game. 42-yard touchdown in the first minute and a half. This Tiger offense machine here in the 4th quarter. Isber is going to keep it. Wrapped up by David Kern. Not much there for him.
No, it's going to be about a 3rd and 4.
You see the clock in the corner of your screen ticking.
This has been a pretty nice drive so far. I think they got the ball with about over 7 minutes, around 8 minutes, and the clock's down to 4:05 right now.
Isber, solid numbers.
For him to go outside, now they go off tackle.
Cromerty gets it, but he's met by Furness and McGahan, Allman.
So again, about 4th and 1.
Look at Zach Furness.
Maybe about a little longer, 2 yards for the first.
2.
Timeout, McKeesport.
Now you have to.
That's their first timeout.
Well, with that, we'll take a break here. It's a big 4th down coming up right after this break. Ron Rutherford on to attempt the field goal from 24 yards out of Isber's hold. The kick is up, and it's no good. Upper St. Clair lives. 3:39 to play to win the football game. They'll get another chance on offense here. As you see it, it's Upper St. Clair 14, McKeesport 21, and that's the story with 3:39 to play in the football game. The Panthers back on offense. Mac McCardle's going to have to take his team from Three Rivers Stadium.
New life.
Yeah, 80 yards to go for Mac McCardle and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. They're down 7.
Plenty of time. They have all 3 timeouts.
Fake reverse. McCardle's going to tuck it in and run with the football for the first time
He gets
tonight.
by him. He's got some room.
Across the 40, and good field position there as Cromerty came over to knock him out of bounds and maybe save a touchdown, but Mac doesn't have that breakaway speed, but a real
It's a
solid
nice play.
run.
We haven't seen this all night. They faked the reverse, and it was basically just a fly pattern down the right sideline. McCardle, good job, because he was not open. And there's the tackle that he broke that got him some extra yards. Mac's been a little bit quiet in the second half compared to his first half output, but that was a big play.
All the way out to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Upper St. Clair. 3:28 on the clock. He even got out of bounds to stop it. Mandler to the bottom of the screen. Hammond's in motion. Cardle has Barrett Hammonds on the far sideline, but he's wrapped up nicely. Cromerty up to make the play defensively along with number 36, Jared Miller for the Tigers. Gain of about 4 on the play, the clock running. He didn't get out of bounds. Could turn into being a costly mistake there.
Now they
Didn't
have
really
plenty
have much
of
of a chance.
Yeah, there wasn't much Barrett could do. There's 3:02 left on the clock. They have all 3 timeouts. They just have to keep picking up first downs. Time isn't too crucial right now, but they should start speeding up between plays. They wasted about 20-25 seconds just getting to the line of scrimmage.
Mandler to the top of the screen. There's Bunn in motion. The pitch is to Hawkins. They're going to try to run it. And nice play defensively as Keelan Rozier came up from his corner spot to make the tackle in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 2 and set up a 3rd and 8 here for the Panthers. 2:29 to play in the football game. Kind of a weird call here, Dave.
Yeah, that was a surprising call. I think he just was hoping to catch Mckeesport sleeping. Hawkins has run pretty well in the second half, but it was a surprising call on 2nd and 8.
Hawkins goes to the bench. Hammond's back in. He and Mandler to the top of the screen. Bunn is the load back. Cardle looking for a receiver. Has time.
No one's
He's
open.
not much more time, but he got it off at Hammond's, but out of bounds in the Mckeesport territory. That's going to set up 4th and 8. A real tough situation for the Upper St. Clair Panthers
They
here.
should wake the crowd up.
1:56 to play in the football game. Look at the Mckeesport band, and all they want is to hold on just a little bit longer to this 21-14 lead over Upper St. Clair.
I'll be interested to see what Mckeesport does on defense, Sean, whether they blitz or they drop the linebackers, just try and keep everything in front of them.
Mandler to the bottom of the screen, Hammonds to the top on the wing. High formation set here.
Comes a blitz.
Hawkins at tailback. They'll fake the draw. Has Mandler 1st down.
Jeez, boy, that was a duck, wasn't it?
Oh my.
Huh?
Ball that
I thought it was interference, too. I thought Mandler was hit before he caught the ball.
Jason Harrison in the coverage, and he did hit him a little early. We'll see. Got Jeff Mandler.
You know, he got hit, and he still caught the ball. Tell you what
a
St.
game
Clair
he's
was
had,
lucky
huh?
because there were no flags on that play either. And that was clearly pass interference.
What a game he's
Look at
had.
that duck. Atta boy.
Quack, quack, and he grabbed hold of both wings he got.
Doesn't matter right now.
1st and 10 at the 43. A minute and a half to play. Cardle has new life. Throwing on 1st down over the middle again. Another completion inside the 30 if they give them the forward progress, and it's Mandler once again.
Well, you would think by now Mckeesport might be paying a little bit more attention to Mandler because he's been running free the whole game throughout their secondary.
White timeout.
So we've got a timeout call with
Upper St. Clair.
1:22 to play.
That's their first timeout.
21-14. We'll be back to see how the Panthers do it right after this. Ask for anything better than this, Dan, to finish the day here at Three Rivers.
I tell you what, Mac McCardle, who struggled in the 3rd quarter, has come alive again, and he's been on target.
Jeff Mandler, 7 catches on the night, 110 yards, one of them a touchdown. He's split to the bottom of the screen.
Another blitz. That
time they got him.
Sooner or later.
Second time of the night, the second sack from Brandon Short. He just basically leapt right over the line of scrimmage, man.
Well, you saw him sneaking up, and he was just trying to pick his spot as to where he was going to blitz through the line.
Loss of 5 on the play, clock ticking, down to a minute. 35-yard line, 2nd and 15 for the Panthers.
He's wide open.
Jeff Mandler at the 6. 1st and goal, Upper St. Clair with 40 seconds to play.
He was wide open. If that ball would have been there, that would have been 6. But McArdle did a great job because there was pressure, avoiding the pressure.
Yeah,
I want to see if this ball hit the ground also.
Real close.
Yeah, you're bringing it back.
They're going to roll it into. Oh no, there's a flag, a hold apparently against Upper St. Clair. I missed. I didn't even see that little piece of yellow out at the 42-yard line.
I didn't see it either.
Line.
We were so concerned about the catch.
And it is. It's a hold against Upper St. Clair.
10-yard
what
penalty.
Looked like a great opportunity for the Panthers.
Well,
life for the Mckeesport defense here.
Actually, justice was done because that was not a catch.
Okay, so that'll make it 2nd and 25. Now they're going to, let's see, they do it from the spot of the file.
Yeah, this is what really hurts.
Okay, Coach render a tough decision as he's talking to McArdle and Jeff Mandler, and that's going to take it all the way back in the Upper St. Clair territory. As the hold was called at the 42, that'll make it back to the 48.
I really disagree with that in high school, that it's from the spot of the foul. It just ruins a drive.
You know, but on the other side of that, if it's downfield, it can help one. But yeah. Pat Phillips into the game at wide receiver. He's split to the top of the screen, Mandler and Hammonds to the bottom. 2nd and forever for Upper St. Clair as you see the clock. Talk about a duck. McArdle drilled on that one by Roger Wilson, blitzing from his linebacker spot. Got it off, but nobody there. 16 seconds left in this one. And this one's going to take a miracle for the freshman to pull it off, Dan.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 33. And last couple of times, Mckeesport has just come with bull rushes. The linebackers are coming. Everybody's coming. Caused a holding play 2 plays before. And that time, again, the pressure was just much too strong up the middle for Upper St. Clair. 16
ticks left on the clock. 3rd and 33. Phillips and Mandler to the top. And Hammonds is going to head that way too. How about a big bend play, huh? 3 receivers all down the right side. And McArdle just heaves it, and it's going to be knocked to the ground. Saeon Coleman with the defensive play. And that's going to set up 4th down here, 9 seconds to play in the football game.
That was a good idea to roll them out, though, as opposed to the straight dropbacks. As once again, the linebackers were coming short. You can see picking his spot.
Has him in his sights. Oh, look at that.
At least by rolling out, McArdle got some time to throw the ball.
Bunn slowed him down a little bit, but Brandon really, he was just, you know, you think he would keep going back to this. Only going to throw that ball a little further. He had Mandler behind the defense.
He did. You're exactly right. But it was a tough throw. It would have been about a 45-yard throw on the run. 9 seconds, 4th down.
A 5'10" freshman throwing that football. So here it is. Last play. Hawkins is going to throw it back to McArdle.
Not going to matter.
Tigers are waiting for it. That'll be not the last play of the game as McArdle's tackled out of bounds. With 2 seconds to play, Mckeesport will kill this. They'll get 1 snap. But what a great football game. As you see them already celebrating on the Mckeesport sideline. Their first WPIAL football championship since 1938. And got to be real sweet for Coach George Smith, who last year had what a good season ruined by a semifinal loss to the same Upper St. Clair team. Different kids, of course, but
I don't know what more you can do. You started the season #1. You went undefeated. You won the championship game in style.
And Mckeesport is the 5th team in 6 years to do that, to finish undefeated and win the WPIAL Championship.
To be honest with you, Sean, it's nice to see a new team in the finals win the finals. I mean, no discredit to the North Hills and NAs and Upper St. Clairs, but it's always fun to see a new team win the championship.
Keystone East Conference champions are now the WPIAL Championship. An emotional moment, as you can see on the field. A tough one for Coach Render, but if you talked to him early in the year, he had no clue that this team would be even close to this. He's embraced there by defensive coach Ivan Hampton from Mckeesport. He's saying, Coach, what did you give me a rough evening here at Three Rivers?
Well, I'm sure Coach Render's still upset about the holding penalty because if you recall on that last drive, they would have had the ball on the 5-yard line.
It's a tough way to go.
It is a tough way to go.
But great effort and great football here on the KBL Sports Network. Got to look at some total stats here just handed to me by our stat man Bob Zupanik. 308 total yards for Mckeesport Tigers. Not a surprise there, Dan, but 282 for Upper St.Clair. We weren't sure they had that kind of offensive firepower to keep up with Mckeesport in this one. They did it. We're going to take a break here now. Mckeesport, your Whitfield Quad A champions, 21-14 over Upper St. Clair. Sport Tigers just won and are now celebrating their first Whitfield championship since 1938, before World War II. And what a great one it was for Coach George Smith and his Tigers. We salute them. Boy, a great win here over the Upper St. Clair Panthers. And what a great night it was for all of Mckeesport. I'm getting used to this Upper St. Clair stuff. But Mckeesport, what a great win for the town. As we get a look at, we'll start going over the final game stats. Mckeesport outgained Upper St. Clair 308 to 282. Rushing game, 301 of those yards on the ground. And big games from Cromerty, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, both long runs.
Sean, the interesting thing about that is when Mckeesport lost to St. Clair last year, they only rushed for 127 yards. This year, there you go with 301 yards.
Yeah, isn't that the case? If you look at Upper St. Clair's numbers there, the surprise of that there, of course, the 171 yards passing for Mac McCardle. 110 of those went to senior Jeff Mandler. We're about ready to, we've got not only some interviews coming up post-game downfield, but from former Mckeesport graduate Lisa Burns and a happy Mckeesport quarterback Bill Isbir down on the field.
I have the quarterback here from the Quad A champion Mckeesport Tigers, Bill Isbir. Can you talk about your game tonight?
I don't know. Defense played a great game. Offense controlled the ball. That was our game plan.
Now, does it help or hurt sometimes to be a quarterback who's almost like a running back who's running the ball most of the time?
I like it. It's an advantage for me because I'm more of a running back type quarterback, less than a passer.
Now, what does it mean to you guys? Mckeesport has such a strong football tradition, yet this is the first championship since 1938.
I don't know. It means a lot to Coach Smith. We're winning for him. We just hope we keep moving on.
Okay, thanks a lot. Back to you, Danny and Sean.
Jeez. Just go right. All right, thanks, Lisa and Bill Isbir. A happy Bill Isbir. What a great game that they played in this great win here for the Mckeesport Tigers. We'll be back to wrap it all up for you right after this. Dan Donahoe back here at Three Rivers Stadium to wrap up another wonderful day of WPIAL Championship football here at Three Rivers. Just saw the score there. The Mckeesport Tigers finishing it off with their first win since 1938, beating Upper St. Clair 21-14, and a game that went down to the wire and a holding call. Really, we could have, who knows what would have happened had that call not been made. And of course, the missed field goal gave them the opportunity to do that, Dan, and they came back and. What a great football game.
It was a great game, Sean. Could have gone either way, but Mckeesport a worthy champion. Like I said, they were on top at the beginning of the year. Everyone was shooting at them from Penn Hills early in the year to Central Catholic to their playoff games. A worthy champion.
Jermaine Cromerdie, the real star, 130 yards, 2 long touchdowns, 46 and 62 yards to lead the Tigers to the win. Earlier in the day, we had Western Beaver beating Riverview 42-0 to win the Class A championship. And then New Brighton, another easy win for the Beaver County area as they beat Jeanette 35-6 to win the AA championship. And then McGuffey in the third game of the day wins the AAA title 12-6 over Blackhawk, breaking Blackhawk's string of games of championship wins, ending it at 3. They were trying to become the first team to win 4 since Braddock did it back in the 50s. But McGuffey with their first championship ever over Blackhawk 12-6. And then, of course, the great nightcap between the Upper St. Clair Panthers and the Mckeesport Tigers. Mckeesport winning 21-14. Dan, and for my partner Dan Donahoe and our whole Philadelphia crew, how's that? Our whole KBL crew here at Three River Stadium want to thank everybody for watching all day long. Our director, Stu Debenham, our producer, Joe Magnu, and then you see the rest of the names there. And did a terrific job bringing you these pictures.
It's been a long day.
It sure has, and it's been a great one. We hope you enjoyed it.
PIAL football champions were crowned. Mckeesport pulled it off. They knocked off Upper St. Clair, so the Tigers win their first championship since 1938. What a great season for Mckeesport. Upper St. Clair, too, but in a losing effort for them. Mckeesport, well, they move on. Jim Render's team has been there before, and they gave Mckeesport a great game. Mac McCardle, the Michael Fowler, 5-yard touchdown pass at 7-6. USC was up 14-13, but here comes Mckeesport. Jermaine Cromerdie takes it 61 yards for the touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns on the night. 2-point conversion made it 21-14. And Mckeesport's defense took over. Brandon Short, Penn State bound. Boy, is he quick. Drops McCardle for a sack, and the Tigers sit on this one, winning the Quad A crown 21-14. Congratulations to George Smith and the Mckeesport Tigers, their first title since 1938. AAA, McGuffey and Blackhawk.
Championship. They won tonight. Fort 7 and Erie Central 6. That was played up in Erie tonight. That was in the Quad A game. In the AAA game, Sharon beat McGuffey 14-7. That was played at Mount Lebanon, and it's the first quarter.
Turn. Erie Central's on the board, but they go for 2, and it's no good. So Mckeesport still leads 7-6. And on the last play of the game, Keelan Rozier comes up with the interception. Mckeesport improves to 14-0 with a 7-6 win.
You have to credit every kid, for hanging in there, and especially our kids on defense. The way they just came back time after time.
Up next for the Tigers, the state championship next Saturday in Altoona. In Erie, Albie Oxenrider, WPIAA 4 Sports.
Okay. It's 42-0. Western Beaver beats Riverview to win the Class A championship. And in the CBA last night, it was Chicago.